Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before you click away, I want you to pause for a second and look at your life. Do you ever wonder why no matter how hard you try, women seem so distant, almost unreachable? Why your efforts to connect fall flat? Why conversations turn cold? Or why the girl who seemed interested yesterday suddenly ghosts you today? It's not because you're unattractive, and it's not because you're unworthy. It's because the game has changed, and no one ever warned you about it. Society quietly shifted the rules while telling you that nothing had changed. And now, here you are, standing in a world where men are silently drowning in loneliness, while women seem to swim effortlessly in oceans of attention. You feel it, don't you? That knot in your chest every time you see a woman smile at another man, but not at you. That silent frustration when you replay conversations in your head, wondering if you said something wrong, wondering why she pulled back. Let me tell you the truth. Most men are struggling right now, not because they're broken, but because they've been lied to. You were told to be nice, to be respectful, to give everything and expect that women would naturally reciprocate. But what no one explained is that women don't connect through obligation, they connect through emotion. And the brutal reality, if you don't know how to stir that emotion, you become invisible. Think about the last time you liked a woman deeply. Did you feel her slipping away as you tried harder to hold on? Did she slowly stop replying while your chest burned with the thought that maybe you just weren't enough? That pain isn't just rejection, it's a reflection of a deeper problem. Men today are starving for connection, while women are drowning in options. This imbalance creates a silent battlefield where men walk away feeling unwanted and women walk away feeling misunderstood. The worst part? Nobody is telling men the real reason why. The truth is buried beneath social media filters, fake dating advice, and a culture that refuses to acknowledge your pain. But I see it, and I'm here to pull the veil back. You see, the struggle isn't that women don't want to connect with men. It's that the way they choose who to connect with has transformed. In the past, proximity mattered. The man in her town, her school, her workplace, he had a chance simply by being present. But today, a single swipe opens her world to thousands of men across the globe, all competing for her attention, validation, and emotions. And if you're not standing out in that sea of endless choice, you feel like you don't even exist. That's why men everywhere are silently collapsing under this pressure. It's not just you, it's not just your city, it's universal. But here's where it gets heavier. A woman doesn't consciously reject you just because you're a man. She rejects the energy you bring. And most men, unknowingly, approach women from a place of lack. You want her because she feels like a missing piece. You talk to her because you crave her validation. You chase because you believe if she accepts you, you'll finally feel worthy. And women sense this instantly. They may smile politely, they may talk for a while, but deep down they know it's not attraction, it's neediness. And neediness suffocates connection. Now let me tell you something raw. Women are emotional creatures, and they connect not with the man who offers the most, but with the man who moves them the deepest. That doesn't mean money, status, or even looks. It means the man who can carry himself in a way that doesn't beg for acceptance, but radiates it. The man who can make her feel seen, without making her feel smothered. The man who is already whole, even before she steps into his life. That's what most men have forgotten. Because here's the dangerous truth. Men have been conditioned to believe that connection comes from giving more compliments, more attention, more availability. But women don't bond with more. They bond with presence, with the feeling that you are grounded, that you can't be shaken, that her choosing you isn't about filling your emptiness, but about amplifying your completeness. This is why so many men are struggling to connect today. Not because women are impossible to please, but because most men are unconsciously approaching them from a place of emotional starvation. And when you come empty, you can't expect her to pour herself into you. Let's get brutally honest. You've probably been told your whole life that if you're a good man, if you respect women, if you treat them kindly, eventually one will see your worth. But deep down, hasn't that advice left you confused, frustrated, even angry? Because you are a good man, and still, women don't respond the way you hope. You give loyalty, you give effort, you give consistency, but what do you get back? Silence, ghosting, half-hearted conversations that die before they even begin. And in that silence, a darker thought creeps in. Maybe women don't actually want good men at all. But here's the truth you were never told. Women aren't rejecting goodness. They're rejecting passivity. Too many men mistake politeness for presence. They mistake playing it safe for being strong. And women can feel it instantly. A man who hides his true desires behind a mask of politeness doesn't inspire connection. He creates confusion. She feels something is missing, something hollow, something she can't put her finger on. And so she drifts away, leaving you wondering what you did wrong. The reality is, connection is built on polarity, the tension between masculine and feminine. When a man shows up indecisive, hesitant, unsure of himself, the polarity collapses. She doesn't feel drawn in, she feels repelled. Not because she doesn't like you, but because she can't feel you. And a woman has to feel you before she can trust you, before she can open up, before she can choose you. Think about it. The men women chase, the men they can't stop thinking about, aren't always the tallest, richest, or most handsome. But they are men who embody clarity. Men who know what they want, who aren't afraid to claim it, who can lead with calm strength instead of trembling hesitation. That's what ignites her emotions. That's what makes her lean in, rather than pull away. And here's the sting. You've been told to suppress this side of yourself, to always play nice, to never take risks, to avoid rejection at all costs. But by doing that, you stripped away the very thing that creates connection in the first place, your unapologetic presence. A woman doesn't want a man who hides behind kindness. She wants a man who carries kindness inside his strength. Here's a question most men never ask themselves. Why should a woman feel safe opening up to me? Not physically safe, that's a given, but emotionally safe. Because in today's world, women live in a storm of constant attention. Every time she opens her phone, men are there. Compliments flooding her DMs, strangers begging for her number, even married men sending risky messages just to get a response. This endless flood of desperation doesn't make her feel valued. It makes her guarded. It makes her suspicious. It makes her question if any man is truly genuine at all. And this is where your struggle deepens. Because when you approach a woman with the same energy she's already overwhelmed by, overexcitement, desperation, or even hidden agendas, she closes the door before you even step through it. Not because she hates men, but because she's protecting herself from drowning in false connections. That means if you want her to notice you, to actually connect with you, you can't bring the same energy as everyone else. You have to bring something rare. And that rare thing is grounded authenticity. A grounded man is not shaken by her beauty. He doesn't stumble over his words because he's desperate to impress her. He doesn't inflate himself with lies to appear stronger. Instead, he is steady, present, clear. He doesn't try to convince her of his worth. He embodies it. And because he's not competing with the noise of 1,000 other men, she feels something shift. She feels calm. She feels safe. She feels drawn in. This is the secret few men ever realize. Women don't fall for the man who tries the hardest. They fall for the man who makes them feel the most. And the feeling that unlocks her heart isn't the shallow rush of compliments. It's the deep reassurance that you are not like the others. That with you, she can put her guard down. That with you, she doesn't have to perform. That with you, she can finally breathe. But here's the painful twist. If you're not grounded in yourself, if you're constantly seeking her validation to feel worthy, she'll sense it immediately. And instead of safety, she feels pressure. Instead of attraction, she feels resistance. Connection dies before it begins. Let me tell you something that will sting, but it's the truth every man needs to face. Women are not struggling to connect with men the way men are struggling to connect with women. Why? Because they live in abundance, while you live in scarcity. Think about it. She can walk into a coffee shop and catch 3 men staring. She can post a photo online and receive 20 messages before she finishes brushing her teeth. She is constantly reminded that she is wanted. You, on the other hand, can spend weeks without a single woman showing interest. This imbalance shapes both of you in ways that most men never understand. When women interact with men, they are not starved for attention. They are filtering it. They're looking for the rare signal inside the endless noise. Meanwhile, most men are desperate to be chosen, so they throw themselves at women with everything they have, hoping something sticks. But here's the harsh reality. The more you throw, the less she feels. Because connection isn't built through force, it's built through contrast. She must feel that you are not like the others who swarm her for scraps of attention. But how do you separate yourself? By refusing to approach women as if they are your lifeline. By no longer seeking connection as a way to fill your emptiness. By becoming the man whose life already overflows with meaning, discipline, and purpose. When you live this way, women feel it instantly. It's not what you say, it's not the lines you use, it's the unspoken weight of a man who doesn't need her, but chooses her. That's the difference that makes her lean closer instead of stepping away. Understand this. Women connect with men who can intensify their emotions, but they can only trust men who are rooted. If you're unstable, if your worth swings up and down based on her reactions, she will never give you her heart. Because she cannot lean on someone who is already collapsing. And this is where so many men lose. They think a woman will save them from their loneliness, when in reality, it's their loneliness that scares her away. The solution isn't to chase harder. The solution is to build a life so strong, so purposeful, that when she enters it, she feels like she's stepping into a storm-proof shelter. Here's what most men never realize until it's too late. Connection with women is not built in the moment you meet her. It's built in the man you become, long before she arrives. If you wait until she's in front of you to try and be attractive, it's already over. Attraction isn't a mask you put on when you see a beautiful woman. It's the natural gravity you carry when you live with discipline, clarity, and purpose. Women don't connect with your words first. They connect with your energy. And your energy comes from how you live when nobody is watching. Think about it. If your life is empty, if you spend your nights scrolling, escaping, numbing yourself, what energy do you bring to her? If your days are filled with passivity, procrastination, or self-pity, what signal do you radiate? You can't hide it. You might dress nice, say the right things, even pretend to be confident, but women feel beyond the surface. And when they sense a man who is drifting through life, they don't see a partner, they see a risk. On the other hand, a man who is building himself, a man who pushes his limits, who holds himself to standards, who takes responsibility for his direction. He doesn't need to perform when she shows up. His presence speaks for him. His silence even has weight. And she feels it, not in her head, but in her body. She feels pulled toward him, not because of what he offers her, but because of what he's already built within himself. This is the key most men overlook. Women don't connect to potential. They connect to presence. You can't just promise her you'll change. You can't just tell her you're ambitious. You have to embody it. Because women don't just listen to words. They listen to the man behind them. And when the man is empty, the words mean nothing. So ask yourself honestly, are you the kind of man who creates gravity when he enters a room? Or are you still the man who hopes women will save him from his own emptiness? Because here's the reality. No woman wants to carry the weight of your unfulfilled life. She wants to join you in your mission, not become your mission. And until you understand this, connection will always slip through your fingers. So here we are, at the truth most men spend their whole lives running from. The reason you are struggling to connect with women is not because you are doomed, and it's not because women are cruel. It's because you've been playing the wrong game. You've been chasing approval instead of building presence. You've been looking outward for connection before you ever looked inward. And every rejection, every silence, every ghosting wasn't proof that you're unworthy. It was a mirror reflecting back the emptiness you carried into those moments. But here's the hope you need to hear. This story doesn't have to end in bitterness or loneliness. You can rewrite it. The moment you decide to stop begging for connection and start becoming the kind of man who creates it, everything shifts. When your life is rich with purpose, when your days are disciplined, when your standards are unshakable, women feel it instantly. You stop being one of the many, and you become the rare man who stands out. Not because of tricks, not because of fake lines, but because your very presence speaks louder than anything you say. And understand this. Women are not searching for perfection. They're searching for authenticity. They want to feel safe. They want to feel alive. They want to feel something real. And the man who gives them that isn't the one chasing endlessly. It's the one who has already built himself into someone she can trust, admire, and lean into. That man could be you. But only if you stop waiting, stop hoping, and start taking ownership of the man you are becoming. So now I want to ask you something personal. Something only you can answer. Are you living as a man women feel naturally drawn to, or are you still living as a man waiting for permission to be chosen? Think about that. And then drop your honest answer in the comments below, because your truth might be the same truth another man desperately needs to hear today. If this message hit you, if it stirred something inside you, then don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Because men everywhere are silently struggling, and sometimes one truth at the right time can change everything.